Very good afternoon. Welcome to Lunchtime News on MTV Sports. I'm Shine Durangpati. We apologized previously. However, let's move on with the news. Let's start off with President Mahinda Rajapaksa meets the Prime Minister of Kazakhstan. "60 houses damaged in Hambantota owing to heavy rain." India hangs Mohammad Ajmal Kasab, the only military that survived the 2008 Mumbai attacks. Now let's take a look at the stories in detail. President Mahinda Rajapaksa, who is on an official 3-day visit to Kazakhstan, met with Kazakh Prime Minister Sherik Amtov yesterday. The president's media unit said that attention was focused on increasing investment opportunities in both countries.
Representatives of the two countries were in attendance during the meeting between President Rajapaksa and Kazakh Prime Minister. The Kazakh Prime Minister had noted that the geographical location of the two nations will not be an obstruction for increased investment opportunities. The President's media unit said that attention was drawn towards increasing investment related to the petroleum sector. The Kazakh Prime Minister had commented that his people enjoy drinking tea and that the country was looking at importing Lankan tea. Attention was also drawn towards the sports sector. Meanwhile, President Mahinda Rajapaksa met the chair of the Kazakhstan Senate yesterday. The President's media unit noted that during this meeting it was agreed to form a parliamentary friendship group between Sri Lanka and Kazakhstan. Meanwhile, a meeting of both Sri Lankan and Kazakhstan businessmen took place last evening in Astana. At the meeting, attention was drawn towards developing cooperation between the business chambers.
The Disaster Management Center stated that around 60 houses have been damaged in the Hambantota district owing to heavy rain in the area. Assistant Director of the Disaster Management Center for the Hambantota district, Harsha Ravindra, said that 30 houses in the Ambalantota Divisional Secretariat area were partially damaged.
Antota, Tavaluvila, Thanalanda and Lansiwatta were inundated since last evening owing to heavy rains. Our correspondent noted that 25 houses were underwater last night and at present only 10 houses remain underwater. Pungama, which is on the Colombo-Kataragama main road, was also underwater. Meanwhile, one person was killed when a wall of a house in Uhupitagoda, Ambalantota, fell on him. The incident had taken place last night. Meanwhile, owing to the rising water levels of the Kirama Oya in Matara, the Molatiana Matara main road went underwater. Our correspondent noted that owing to this, transportation along the road has been hampered. In addition, several low-lying areas and roads have also been inundated. The Matara District Disaster Management Center notes that around 35 houses were damaged owing to heavy rains.
Moving on to more local news, a group of Sri Lankans who were among a group of illegal immigrants who had arrived in Australia in boats have been deported to Papua New Guinea. Now, this will be the first group to be detained at the Immigrant Detention Centre, which was reopened in the Guinean island of Manus. 19 Sri Lankan and Iranian immigrants were sent to Papua New Guinea by plane. The Australian government decided to deport all illegal migrants to detention centres in other countries to discourage attempts to illegally migrate to Australia. Meanwhile, the BBC reports that 2 boats with 137 illegal migrants were seized by the Australian Navy yesterday. Local government authorities have decided to reopen the path to view the Dunhinda Falls, although there is still a risk of rocks falling onto the path. Now, speaking to News First, Badulla District Secretary Rohana Kirti Disanaika said that this decision was taken owing to the improved weather conditions.
Owing to the danger posed by falling rocks, the access route to the Dunhinda Falls was closed and tickets were not issued to both local and foreign tourists from the 1st of this month. However, Badulla District Secretary Rohana Kirti Disanaika, speaking to News First, noted that tickets are now being issued to tourists following the reopening of the access route. When we inquired from the National Building Research Organisation, the head of the Landslide Monitoring Unit, RMS Bandara, said that there is still a risk of rocks falling onto the path leading to the falls. He added that the Badulla District Secretary had been informed about this in writing.
3 people were seriously injured when a container truck went down a precipice close to the Kolatanna crossing on the Haputala Bandaravela road.
The police said that the accident occurred at around 6 this morning when a motorcycle collided with a container truck. Our correspondent based in the area noted that a large number of accidents were reported close to the Kolatanna crossing on the Colombo-Badula main road. When we inquired, the police pointed out that the reason for this was drivers being unable to control heavy vehicles travelling on this road. The Bandaravale Traffic Police said that accidents have been reported in the area previously as well.
Still in local news, the Human Rights Commission of Sri Lanka is taking steps to prepare a human rights action plan. Commissioner Dr. Pratibha Mahanamaheva said that more weight will be given to the suggestions made by civil organizations. Now the plan will be implemented at divisional level, commencing from the Kandy district. The International Day for Children was celebrated at the Sri Lanka Foundation Institute in Colombo yesterday.
විශේෂයෙන් දරුවන්ට ඒ වගේම කාන්තාවන්ට වන හිරිහැර මේ පිළිබඳව කටයුතු කරන්න ක්‍රම තුනක් තියෙනවා.
There are 3 ways of dealing with the harassment on women and children, which has become a serious issue. One is to implement a program based on religious views. The other is to get the people involved and obtain their strength to find a solution to this. The third is to use state power and find a solution.
තුන්වෙනි එක තමයි राज्य शक्ति යොදවලා දණ්ඩ බලයෙන් මේ ප්‍රශ්න විසඳන්න හදන එක.
Every second in the world there is one girl who has been sexually abused. One girl. Every second. Just imagine if I have, since the time I started walking from there to here, it must have been at least a minute, 60 seconds. 60 girls have been abused, violently abused. Most of them at home by the very people who are supposed to protect them. By the father, by the uncle, by the brother, by the cousin, by the grandparents. Or in the homes or in the child care system.
Over the past 3 decades, it was difficult for us to carry out our duties to protect the children in the East. The monks from Kilinochie and Mullaitivu know about this. So, incidents took place without our knowledge. We were unable to protect children from falling victim to molestation during the war.
Minister of Fisheries Dr. Rajitha Senaratne says that political parties and their leaders are there to save the people from difficulties. Now the minister made this comment during an event held at the Kalutara Boatry yesterday.
The event was held in view of the President's birthday and swearing in. Every political party was created to serve the people and the country and not to be protected by the people and the country. Also, it is not the duty of the people to protect the political leaders and political parties. Rather, the leaders are there to save the people from their difficulties. Therefore, we took the right decision at the right time. We are part of the victory of this nation.
Personally local news. Now this is a report about a woman who had buried her 1-day-old baby in Polonnaruwa.
On the 5th of this month, a woman from the Kudapukuna village, which comes under the Valikanda police division in Polonnaruwa, was found to have buried her baby. The woman, who took ill later, was hospitalized. After she was questioned in hospital, the body of the baby was exhumed with her assistance. Polonnaruwa Chief Magistrate Ruan Dhammika Dissanayake conducted the magisterial inquiry into the incident. Our correspondent noted that the husband of the woman was abroad and she was living alone. The police said that the woman was still receiving treatment at the Polonnaruwa hospital.
Well, in sports is cricket news. Bangladesh are taking on the West Indies in the second test match of the series at the Sheikh Abu Nazar Stadium in Khulna. Now, Bangladesh won the toss and opted to bat first. The home team suffered an early blow as Nazimuddin was dismissed for 4 runs by Edwards in the third over of the day. Shaheen Hafiz, who came in next, scored 26 runs before falling victim to Darren Sammy. Opener Tamim Iqbal scored 32 runs before being bowled by Sammy. Naeem Islam became Edwards' second victim as he was undone for 16 runs. Now, Bangladesh were 119 runs for the loss of 5 wickets in 36 overs a short while ago. Moving on to more sports news, local authorities in Rio de Janeiro sought to reassure national and international journalists yesterday that the city will be ready for the 2016 Games by staging a guided tour of the Olympic sites and infrastructure projects. Now, first on the agenda was a visit to the most recent addition to the city's transport network, the BRT or Bus Rapid Transit, which is expected to play a major role in mitigating the city's chronic traffic problems.
The buses will run on exclusive express corridors, providing an easy connection between the city's west and north regions. It aims to increase the number of journeys made in Rio by public transport from less than 20% today to over 60% by 2016. Another contentious issue has been the allegedly forced relocations taking place in some of Rio's impoverished communities. The slum of Villa Autodromo, right beside the Olympic Village site in Rio's west end, will soon disappear. The city's mayor Eduardo Paes said yesterday that Villa Autodromo's residents are only a group in Rio that will have to move to make way for the Olympics. Paes was quick to reassure the relocations taking place in those communities were being done sensibly and had nothing to do with the World Cup or the Olympics.
Well, with that, we wrap up lunchtime news on MTV Sports. I'm Shaheen Jarangpati. Goodbye.